on, guys? Another new week. The points just dropped for a lot of programs on the Hyperliquid EVM. A lot happened over the weekend with KittenSwap. It's going through the, I think the 1 hour time frame describes it perfectly. Just go to show what a little bit of drama can do to your portfolio. So, this is over the weekend. See how that giant drop went all the way down to like right around there. That was just because the dev Shinji just made a little tweet. He deleted the tweet. People thought it was a rug. He was just tired, I guess. Needs a. Let's see. I'll show you what's going on. Everything's good. They're gonna need to recover. We're trying to. So Shinji just, I guess he put a little tweet out. People, saying he was tired or something. But stuff's getting back to me. Scroll. I'll show you the panic. This is everyone kind of getting happier, but so there was panic, and then Shinji fortunately comes in and says that there's no rug. And then he put out a public service announcement. Let's read his piece. Well, we don't have to read it, but he put out a PSA. He just needs a vacation. So everything's good. TVL's going back up. I mean, it was nuts, guy. It tanked the TVL. Like Kitten went down by 50% all out of nowhere just because people panicking. The points program's over with KittenSwap. So what I noticed a lot of people, we move our liquidity around to farm these points because this is the window of opportunity, guys. I mean, if you're going to farm points for the Hyperliquid EVM, you need to be in it right now, doing it with us. This is when it's happening. It's going down right now. You just got to keep up with the exchanges that are launching and place your bets on which ones you think are going to make it in the future. Right now, KittenSwap and HyperSwap are poised because they were the first. KittenSwap's the first VE33. Voted. It's a voting escrow exchange. It's kind of owned by the users that have the kitten. And this is what I think is cool. Let me show you why this is such a big deal. So we got our airdrop and we got these kitten NFTs, right? So this is my NFT. And because there's no, all the profit has to go to the liquidity providers, and then the exchange's profit gets distributed out to these NFTs, the VE kitten. They're locked. It's called, voting escrow kitten. When HYBRA, I guess, is gonna be a V3 exchange as well. They just are new. They have a points program. They sucked a whole lot of liquidity from HyperSwap because HyperSwap's not quite done with their points program yet. They're going to end this month. They are by far going to be the number one. They're the number one right now. So they're going to do a 25% airdrop of all their tokens. I had to make a tough call. I saw a window of opportunity to rapidly pick up points here, which I have. It's worked out great. My rank every week is dropping because a lot of people gave up their positions for HyperSwap because HyperSwap's point program has been going on for so long. The same amount of time as KittenSwap's. And KittenSwap is already on. They're already past their token generation event. They're up and running with the whole thing's working. Yeah, granted, there's some growing pains, which all these are gonna have. But KittenSwap's done. I still have some buddy in there. I still have a little liquidity in there just because it's because these emissions are so huge. So let's see. So this is cool. So the whole point of this is now we got a passive income generating tool here by holding the VE kitten. You don't really look at it so much as the value of the kitten all the time because we're not going to be really selling it. Then this right now is at 38. I would expect it's gonna go back up into the 50s, and it'll go up from there. This is just temporary dip. But anyway, I'm not selling it, and it still has the same voting power no matter what it's worth. And this is where the profits come in. So here's an example. This is the current incentives. So people can incentivize the, where is it? Let me show you the incentives. So anybody can go in on the pools, right? And kick in extra incentives to the voters. So whatever pools get the most votes, they get the highest APR from the emissions. So if you get everyone to vote on your pair that you want to get a kick-ass APR on, and everyone votes on it, then you're going to get a killer return when you put your liquidity in. So some of these people have enough stake in these pools to where it makes sense for them to bribe people with votes. Like, for example, somebody has a lot of Jeff with hype because, man, they're incentivizing. They got 100 hype in here, 3,001 Jeff to get split up between the people that vote for this pool. So if you got your VE kitten, so what you do is you go here. Let's just do an example how much your payout would be with 500. You know, I have 560,000 VE kittens. I don't know what that comes out to right now, but that's my voting power. Now you got to keep in mind, I don't know how accurate this is until on how much the actual rewards are going to be until this number is more up into the high 90s, you know. I'd figure on average 97% are going to vote. So all this money is going to get divvied up. And does it say how, let's see. So all the money that's kicked in and all the profits going to get divvied up between the people that end up voting. So here's the optimizer, though. This is cool. So it does it for you if you don't want to waste the time, because how you vote and how you split up your votes determines how much money we're going to make. So I can just have it go select top pools, estimate my rewards, so I had it select the ones with the highest amount of rewards. I'm going to say optimize. So it's going to optimize across the pool. So I'll scroll down and see which pools it decided would be my biggest payout. So right out of the gate, it's saying if all the votes were in. So guys, if all the votes were in, that's the key. So realistically, I'm probably only going to make a few $100, okay, from all these. But as of right now, it says $425 there, 138, 271, $35, $125, $8, all that. So these are all going to be paid out. So this will be paid out when I collect the $229, and we'll know more accurate when I'll document it when I actually collect to see what I actually ended up walking with on this epoch. I will document on what exactly I actually end up walking with my NFT. But for right now, it's saying it's projecting $229. So half of that would get paid to me in USDT. The other half of that pool would be paid in Ethereum. When it says this is $266, it would pay half of that in Hype, half of that in Sol. So you're going to build up a nice little collection of coins, depending on what pools you're voting in. I mean, obviously, and then you convert them. But I like the idea of just this passive income of these different coins coming in every week. So every week when you vote, this is your part of being a voter. So this is separate. This is separate income that you are earning every week from your voting escrow coins. So this is up and running. That's done. If you buy them, they're a great deal right now. I would definitely consider going to the NFT marketplace and buying them. Get on the Discord. But for airdrop wise, if you want to get in, so right now I'm between. So HYBRA is gonna be the next one. This is gonna be the closest thing to the KittenSwap project, and right now they took a ton of liquidity from people left HyperSwap to get in here. I've been dropping ranks steadily because I had to decide. I had a whole bunch. I put a bunch of liquidity in here, and I was still losing rank, but I saw an opportunity to rapidly gain rank here, so I took out most of my liquidity and put it back into HyperSwap so that I can ride this out, because HyperSwap, I feel, is, for me, I just got to keep going. But when this is done, I'm going to focus on HYBRA, and I'm looking at GLIQUID too. I got to look more into what this is. I was already earning points. I don't know how. I don't have any money in here yet, but I will. Must be from... So yeah, this is just an overview video of just what I'm doing for points, and where I'm eyeing the next airdrop from. All the links to everything I have, put out real easy right here. All these exchanges that I'm using, got them all outlined. And what else you can do? If you got any Bitcoin guys sitting around, or Ethereum in a cold wallet, I'd put it to work, because this is gonna be maybe a potential airdrop if they do one. You want them to look back and see that your wallet address at least interacted with this, because this one could be huge. This is how Hyperliquid on ramps Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana right to the hypercore. So I'll have the link to this as well down in there for you. But unit, if you got any of that sitting around, you can deposit it, and then you could do something like go into, say, what I did was I went to HyperFi and Felix. Let me get Felix up, because this is an easy way. If you got some idle Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything that you're holding, you can deposit it. You can borrow right against your assets. So you can deposit it as Bitcoin, borrow some USDC against it. Then, so this is where it gets beautiful, because you're making points without taking any more capital. So you're gonna safely, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is crypto. None of this is safe. I'm figuring that if you guys are watching Hyperliquid stuff at this point in the game, this early, you already know all this, and you know a lot about crypto. So, and I shouldn't have to say that. So you borrow against the Bitcoin, and then to take it out, and then you could go crazy. Then you could lend it to HyperFi, or borrow from, put Bitcoin in HyperFi, do that too, and then go here. So this is a way I'm farming a lot of points with this strategy. I like how Hyperbeat Sorry guys, getting some water. So Hyperbeat has their vault, and you deposit into the vault. Look, we're accumulating hearts. We're gonna accumulate HyperFi points. I'm accumulating HyperSwap points, which, by the way, I think this is how I'm building up in the rank, because the people in the chat rooms are all complaining about how they have all this money staked in HyperSwap and they're not getting hardly any points. Well, meanwhile, I'm racking up like a 1,000 points a week. And I think that's because of this. Because I have it in these, I'm earning them off site through this. And look at all the spread. So just by having your stuff in one vault, so you borrow the USDT against your Bitcoin, or you can just deposit your Bitcoin straight up in there. And if you just put your Bitcoin straight up in there, you also you're getting upshift, you're getting silhouette, all these automatically. So you're automatically hyperlend. So this is a good way to borrow the money. So all this is borrowed, and then I'm earning, and then when I'm done, I pay it back, and the interest that I get from borrowing it and lending it just washes itself out. So this is just a one way to accumulate lots of points across the board with limited capital or idle assets. But you got to look at this as free money. These points. These points end up being money. So let's see. All right, guys, that's what that's about all I got right now for what I'm doing to collect points with this current ecosystem, like these exchanges. I'm gonna finish off HyperSwap. Hopefully that hurries up and gets done. But I think these points, this is gonna be a pretty juicy airdrop. I can't wait to find out what it ends up being. And then if you're not in HyperSwap already, like I was, I would go ahead and go all in on HYBRA, and I would in GLIQUID. I think this is a great opportunity. Look, they're still under a TVL of 3 million. That's nothing. Right now they're early, so whenever the pools are this small, so look there, you could get on some stable. So this would be what you could borrow money to put your Bitcoin or Ethereum, borrow against it with 2 stable assets. Bam, look at that. I bet we'll earn points doing that. So I guess these are the 2 that I'm gonna start looking at focusing on after I can rotate out of here. KittenSwap's up and running. That's great. Now I'm just gonna make money with the airdrop, which is the best part. I got that airdrop, so once you get it, then you can start actually making a passive income. HYBRA's gonna be following that same format. Wouldn't that be cool to have 2 of them, have HYBRA and KittenSwap for the making passive income there. HyperSwap's not a V3. They're gonna be a little different, and I don't know what GLIQUID is a V3. I gotta read up on them. I don't know if they are gonna be that or not. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. Don't forget to, at least interact with this. If you get some Bitcoin, what if this could be a big reward for on-ramping with Unit? So think about that, and go earn some points, guys. And good luck. And thanks for checking in and watching.